Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen, tankers of Blitz Universe. A revamped version of the Chrysler K video I released on Friday. That one had some technical issues with the sound, so hopefully this one will be better. Please stay tuned as we take the Chrysler K for a spin. Yes, good to see you all back, ladies and gentlemen, tankers of Blitz Universe, to the channel. My name is Martindogger, and thank you very much for understanding that I had some technical issues on the earlier video. I have not pulled that one, I have it set on hidden, so there might be some Discord links lurking around still that you can watch. And I decided to add a few more games that I had played in the Chrysler so far, including an ace game. And this is the one where it all went pear-shaped earlier. You can see that falling through up front. I think I was able to mention that and you were able to hear that. And I was able to put this shot into the front of the IS-2. And what I'm doing here is actually showing the side-scraping possibilities of the Chrysler K. There have been some people who post stuff about Blitz and then didn't watch the entire video, or even not even two games of them, and said, wait, you're not showing the side-scraping possibilities of the tank because this tank can side-scrape. Why is that? It's because of the armor profile, because of the rear-mounted turret. Like said earlier, this tank, it doesn't have a really good reputation on World of Tanks PC, because Sir Forge, he went out of his way describing this tank, and well, maybe not so much the tank, it was more the policy of wargaming, of releasing premium tanks. And then you ran into one of these monsters, and that is a premium tank with a very good armor profile, but a fairly weak gun. And the point of having a premium tank usually was to grind credits. If you then have a premium tank that requires a lot of gold to be shot at to penetrate frontally, and a tank that has a fairly weak gun itself, then you would be forced to shoot quite a lot of APCR in a premium tank, thus negating the possibilities of earning credits. But that is the tank on PC. I've played this beast on console as well. Chrysler K, there it was named the HMAs, the Heavy Metal Heroes version. Here you can get the Tomahawk camouflage for it and a Vanguard attachment, which do cost extra. And I don't like that, I'm getting to that later. But on PC and console, this tank faces tier 10. And let's face it, PC, neither console, have the possibility to increase the penetration on your tank. You can use vents and rations and stuff and bits like that to get the DPM up. But 198 pen, base pen on AP, that's not a lot. That's really bad. Especially if you are up against E100s of the world, then you would have to spam APCR like a mother buzzer, and you won't earn any credits at all. So let's first take a look at the statistics of this tank. And what better way to do that than using compare tanks on blitzstars.com. And you can see I've lined the Chrysler K up against the Chieftain, the Löwe and AMX M4, because they also have lower caliber guns, thus having less alpha damage per shot. And if you then look at the penetration numbers, you can see that the 105 on the Chrysler does 198 in terms of penetration. But the Chieftain only gets 202. That's only +4. That's not by a large margin. The Löwe and the AMX M4 are out of this world in regards to penetration. 234, 232. And then you get the T34, obviously, with a very big monster gun. And then the IS-5 gets 6 mils of pen extra compared to the WZ-101 and the 112 Glacial, even if it has the same gun. Russian bias at its finest. So yeah, the tank, the Chrysler, it is not about the gun, about the DPM. It is about the gun on the chassis. Because the aim time, well, it's not bad. 2 seconds, just above. Dispersion, bit on the weak side. But yeah, it is a quite good tank. It has -10 degrees of gun depression over the sides of the tank. I must add, it has 6 dead on over the front, and it changes those gun constraints quite a bit. I'm going to show you that in the games and as well in Armor Inspector. But the Chrysler K pretty much outshines any of those tanks we are comparing it against in terms of mobility. It has not the biggest engine, 975 horsepower, but it has a very effective power to weight ratio, very effective horsepower per ton, and quite good traverse numbers and terrain resistance as well. It traverses like a madman. Look at that, no more traverse, 34 degrees. If you fit the increased traverse equipment, it just spins around and spins around like a roulette table. It just keeps on going. The view range is bad, 240, but that's on par with most of the heavy tanks. Hit point pool, decent, 1500, nothing to complain about. And despite the fact that it's that quick, 60 tons, that's a pretty nifty heavy tank as well. And as said, the armor is on the front. So let's take a look at that quickly. Let's take a quick look at the gun constraints first, and then I'll show you a dirty little trick to take out any hull down Chrysler K that you might encounter. You can see this is -6 over the front, but keep an eye on that number. It changes to 7 once you meet the angle of the hull, the corner of the hull, which you can actually shoot through. Funny. But as you keep turning, it goes to -8, -9 and -10, and it changes back as you more or less meet the side of the hull with your gun barrel. It points just over the edge of the corners of the engine deck. Then it goes to -9, 8 and towards 6. But over the side it has -10. That's something shown differently in Blitz stars and in Blitz hanger, but it is something to take into account if you're side scraping and you can use the gun depression. You don't have -6, you have say -8 if you're side scraping properly like that, and that's a good thing. That's just a good thing. Righty, penetration, red and green. This is the Carnarvon shooting at the Chrysler K. And if you over angle the tank, you can see it becomes quite penetrable. But if you have it like this, keep the gun on the inside of the track wheel. Oh la la, this is funky. You will bounce shots all day long. And then this tank might seem OP, but you can penetrate it right here, right through that little fender. That fender hides the hit skin, as you can see here, but the armor model is very clear. You can shoot through that constantly. It's only 82. You can see that? It's only 82. And you have 201 in terms of penetration numbers on the Carnarvon gun. So you can shoot straight through. And not a lot of people know about this. Not a lot of people abuse that. But it's something you have to get into your skill set and into your mindset if you want to penetrate and take out a Chrysler K that is hull down. Right, now that we've seen all those numbers and the armor profile and stuff, and we are hopping into some more gameplay, let's discuss the question, is this tank OP? And I think it's a viable question. And there's a few reasons for it. First of all, I've been driving this tank quite a bit on my contributor account. And I must say, the amount of abuse that has been hurled towards me was astounding. I've never had so much abuse while driving a new premium tank than in this one. It really was a lot. Maybe the WZ-120 came close, but this one, it is beyond me. And people think the tank is OP because it requires a lot of premium ammunition to go through it frontally. But it is only when you want to shoot that front plate. The lower plate can be penned, and you can see that that M103 had no problems penetrating my side, and that's a T-34 hull down. I'm not hearing people complain about that tank being OP, even if it was all pink when I was looking at it. And well, the tank, the Chrysler K, probably looks very pinkish to a lot of people who are looking at it. But that's only when you can get it hull down or in a side scraping position. And any tank that can go hull down or go into a good side scraping position can look OP if you want to penetrate it frontally. But then, just don't try to do that. I'm not hearing people complain about the IS-4 being OP. It is really strong, but it can be overcome. I'm not hearing people complain about a hull down ST1 being OP that has a monster turret And yes, the sides have got some space armor and can be very tall and it can side scrape, but it can be overcome. Same as with the Chrysler K. If it can sit in a position like this and just soak up the hits, as you can see, my team can just sort of revolve around me. And that CDC at the back, who's now going down in a second, he actually asked me later after this game, dude, do you think this tank is OP? And I said, mate, I can't really tell, I haven't released a video yet. But I don't think it is. Well, it looked really pink to me. Now what are you doing trying to penetrate me constantly? If you failed like 2 or 3 shots, then go away. The apparent, or well, some people claim it is OP, that's offset by the gun, which hasn't got brilliant gun handling. And look at that, I couldn't even kill that as you wanted to 54 without ramming into it, because my max roll is only 388. 310 on a tier 8 heavy is not a lot. It's the same, of course, as a tier 32. But if this tank is OP, then the tier 32 would have to be a massively strong tank, or maybe even borderline OP. And yes, this tank has a lot of things going for it. It has got mobility. It has got a gun that can be made to work. I'm not going to say it's a good gun. It's a decent gun. Accuracy a bit off. Alpha damage on the low side, but then again it's a 105, so that's all within boundaries, on par with what you get in the game. But this tank can outshine in several roles, and that is the heavier role, going to the front line quickly and grabbing a base quickly, and in a side scraping role. And it is a fun tank to play. I had fun playing it, despite some of the abuse hurled towards me, but that's what happens from time to time. But it's also a tank that requires quite a lot of gold at the moment to get. I mean, 15k, that's quite a bit. 70k for the tank with full equipment, that's quite a bit. And then you have to pay 2k extra for the camouflage and the possible attachment. Come on, Wargaming, what are you doing there? Let's put a little bit of a Foch rent into it. For 70k of gold, a new tier 8 premium tank, I would have expected to get the camouflage with the tank. Maybe even make a bundle out of it, make it 19k, and it would look less annoying. It would still pay the same price, but it wouldn't feel as stupid. You're shelling out 70k of gold, and then you still have to pay extra for the camouflage, and that looks really good. But yeah, back to the gameplay. That's a whole different matter. I could make an entire video on the economics of Blitz and how much the bundles are. Maybe I'll do that. If you want me to drop a comment in the comment sections below, and I'll try to get to that. On the other hand, the tank itself, it drives lovely. Just look at this. That's me going up the hill around the tortoise, circling around it after tracking him, and they're using the 10 degrees of gun depression over the side to shoot him up the arse and get another tier 9 kill. And we've already captured the base, so I was trying to side scrape here, as you can see, and I can shoot a tier 34 just into the side. And that's the same type of tank I was facing on the other small bits on vineyards. There the tank was held down. And that's a Lurber, and that tank can side scrape as well. And you can see that a Lurber angled with its sides protected, that front plate, I can't penetrate that 9 out of 10 times with my gun because it has a good angle. I can't penetrate the lower hull reliably with my gun because that is quite much angled. And he can penetrate me pretty effectively with his gun. So, are people complaining about a Lurber being OP? I don't think so. I don't think so. But yeah, it is a really strong tank. I just kind of disagree with the pricing really. It is, I think it's over the top. But then again, people are paying it. I'm letting this one slip for now. I think I'll wait for it to become available again, as happens with a lot of the new premium tanks. I paid the full gold price for the AMX M4 Emily 49. And then saw it in the auction for about half of the price. I'm not going to let that happen again. Oh god, no. I want to have... I like the tank. You can see the armor profile, it is quite good. But even with AP saw an angled Chrysler K against a Chrysler K, it's not an easy feat. But that lower plate, you can get through it. So yeah, there it is. That's hopefully the good review without any problems in terms of sound. Bit late.
probably will lose views on it, but I had to have it on the channel anyway. So thank you very much for sticking it out and having the patience. And I hope you also enjoy me putting in some other games and bits in there as well, making a complete new video, because that's what I do. I try to help the community here. We're going to wrap up. Small quick summary on the Chrysler Tomahawk, and then I'll sign off. Thank you very much. As said, brilliant mobility, a very mobile heavy tank, so use that. It traverses like a maniac. It has a decent gun, but it's nothing special. Use calibrated shells. Pro tip. And it has great frontal armor, fairly weak sides. Another bombshell where we bump into a little and bounce a shot. We sign off. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, tankers of Blitz Universe, for watching. My name is Martindogger. Help me get to 10k subscribers by clicking the subscribe button, and I'll see you all on the next video. Cheers and happy tanking!